Let's see how long it takes for anybody to hop on here before I tweet it out. Give me just a second. Be right back. All right. Let's see this. Okay, we do have a viewer on. I will mute that. Sorry about the reverb. Still getting this figured out a little bit. We'll get going here in just a second. Okay, we've got a solid like 3 people watching right now. It's amazing. Appreciate everybody that actually is out here right now without me having to tweet it out. I appreciate it. I'll tweet it out here in a minute, but before I do, like I said, I'm still working on all my settings with everything right now, so let me know. Actually, dude, volume feels a little loud on the music. Yeah, let me know how like the music volume is versus my speaking volume. If it's too loud, I'll keep turning it down a little bit. And then we'll dive into the charts and all that shit. We'll go through the timeline. I have no idea why I have typing test up there. I don't know. Maybe I'll see how fast I can type. I think my brother was on here and I actually left up the screen. But good morning, Bias Injected. Please, nice music this time. I'll try. Very Tiny Bear, hey. Takeshi Murata, hey. Good to see ya. Appreciate y'all joining on here. May as well get this tweeted out. But yeah, in the meantime, while I get this going, let me know how those settings are. Oh shoot, I feel like I've got some reverb going on. I will fix that right now, my bad. Boom. Done. It's fixed. Alright. I'm gonna get this tweeted out and we'll get going for real. Alright, got that tweeted out. All right, let's see how it goes. I appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Don't know how long I'm going to go with this stream, but haven't done anything since last week. You know, took the week off for Thanksgiving, so good to get back in the groove. Dude, yeah, Tiny Bear. Like I said, I don't know why I had that up there. Maybe I'll like dig around and do a typing test before you guys go. I was kind of like, I won't lie. I was kind of just curious to see how fast I could still type because, like, it has really regressed over the course of the past, like, I don't know. Oh, over the years, it's definitely regressed, regardless of the fact that I'm on here and that I'm doing shit. Like, my typing speed's gone down because back in the day, whenever I was a complete degen, like, with the RuneScape stuff, man, like, at the Grand Exchange, that is what you did. You just sat there and typed the same lines over and over again, trying to sell and shill your shit, to get it out there, to get people to do it. So at that point in time, man, like I could type really fast. I think it was like 130 plus words a minute. I don't think I can get anywhere close to that right now. So it's what happens with age, time, letting go of it. Appreciate everybody new hopping in here. What system are you using? Lex, I don't know what you're talking about for what system. Little bit more specific would help. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, so we've got like, you know, a total of 100 people right now, late night. That's not too bad between the two streams. So, could I look at Matic? Yes, I've got the Matic chart up. I plan on looking at Matic here in a little bit. So we'll get going. I mean, dude, why not? Why not just go ahead and dive into it? We'll start off with just taking a look at the charts. Wanted to give a second for everybody to get in here. But, you know, good enough start for now. Appreciate it again for anybody that's actually awake and going through this right now. All the real ones. I mean, if you guys could share, likes, whatever. Actually, dude, I really don't give a shit. If you guys want to watch it, if you guys want to do that, great. If not, it's not a big deal. You know, we're still just warming up in the streaming world, figuring all this stuff out. And here soon, though, very soon. Yeah, I say this, but, you know, I plan on doxing on here. And this is, like, for y'all that, I mean, obviously not tonight. I was going to dox a while ago, but with all this FTX shit, I don't know. It just ended up pushing that back. But going to happen soon enough. Okay. Oh shoot, man. We've got like a deep question to start it off with. Bias injected. Can you explain the importance of alt BTC pairs? Yes, I can definitely get into that here in a little bit. I love that, and I love that topic. I tweeted out a little mini thread on that recently. Yo, I appreciate you hopping in here too. Yeah, like we'll start with the BTC chart. So yeah, you know, like first things first. It's been fun the past couple of days seeing a little bit of a breakout here, right? You know, move back above 17K, nothing too insane. But, you know, I think that we have a solid chance of continuing that move higher. And, you know, a few of the things, if we're going to really start with this, let's start with looking at equities and what we're seeing with that. So equities, man, have completely, actually, I think I've got more. Yes, we do. All right, so equities have been ripping. You know, you can look at this like several time frames, little mini breakout here, right? You know, consolidation above the breakout. The reason why that line right there is cut off, by the way, so if you look at, you know, that was all after hours trading, so I chopped through that wick. Whether or not you guys agree with that, like, that's on you. But, you know, like if I switch back to just the SPX chart, that's what it's going to have as its point of reference for that resistance. You can see there where the price ended up bouncing off that support multiple times. So it ended up making sense. So, you know, consolidation here broke higher when a lot of people did not expect it to break higher. Same here, you know, yesterday. There were a lot of people that saw weakness right there, thought it was going to break down. What ended up happening? Boom. Ended up going right up to the high time frame resistance, and a lot of people are just sitting right now on their seats. Are we going to break through it? Are we not? Personally, I don't think it's going to happen immediately, but I do have a feeling that we will end up breaking through this. I think all the doomers right now are in absolute disbelief. There are a lot of people that are rooting against this market that don't think that we're going to end up bouncing back any higher from here, and I think they're going to continue to be surprised as we continue to rally. You know, it's clear right now the Fed is signaling, I don't want to say pivot necessarily, but, you know, they're not nearly as aggressive as what they have been with the rate hikes. And, you know, just their broader policy in general. And right now it's opening up the door for a little bit of momentum bouncing back after, you know, really a bloodbath the entire year here. I mean, bro, look at that. 28% down in for the S&P 500 in the matter of a year is insane. So, you know, a bounce like this is nothing out of the ordinary. But again, you know, we are at higher time frame resistance. I had to guess right now what we're going to see happen with this. I would like something like this. You know, some type of chop back to here. Retest. Let's see. Let's draw our levels out. Oh, shit. You know, I apologize. I really should be doing this in dark mode for you guys. I'm probably blinding people that are trying to sleep right now. So let's see this. So yeah, I think that we're going to do some type of consolidation above that SR flip right there, right? Whenever we break that higher time frame resistance, probably retrace back above it with this peak right here, that local high being a resistance level to watch for. And realistically, man, if I'm looking at the course of what I expect over the next several years, let's go to got more information here. I really think that what we're going to see with the S&P 500, maybe not exactly what we saw here in the 2000s, right? You know, but I wouldn't be shocked by something like this, right? If we have a rally that ends up leading up here, some type of rejection, and we form a larger base range over the course of the next several years, right? I think that is highly plausible. There are going to be a lot of people here in this range right there that are just in disbelief, a bunch of the doomers, and right about the point where we're reaching the all-time highs, you know, I think you're going to see a huge sentiment shift across the timeline, and that's probably about the point where you're going to get a lot of people that are taking profits and retest the lower range. So I think something like this is completely reasonable, and a little bit more with what I expect right now. Let's check out boomer stocks, though, right now. The Dow Jones already broke out of that major resistance that we're looking at with the S&P 500 a while ago, right? And it's already zooming through. So again, you know, that's one of the reasons right now why I believe the S&P 500 is going to follow and do the same. And I wouldn't be shocked if we actually do get a new all-time high. You know, where I see the S&P 500 kind of peaking out right there because it's got a little bit more exposure to some of those risk-on names like your Teslas of the world. You know, I could see the Dow Jones making a new high before it ends up retracing a little bit. I haven't checked out. Oh shit. Reset some of this. That was lines that I had on there from literally, let's see, I think I drew those back in February. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, NASDAQ is lagging quite a bit behind everything else, and I really expect that too, man. I don't expect a major shift in that anytime soon. I think the risk-on side with NASDAQ is going to continue to lag a little bit. And I apologize for anybody that's watching this and like, shit, I you know, came in expecting a full crypto stream. Like, this is all leading up to it, right? You've got to build a bigger market picture before you dive in to what's happening in the crypto space, because everything is more correlated than anybody gives it credit for. All right, bro, I will go to dark mode right now. You know, I should have done it a while ago. I apologize. Here. For the people, this is going to cause a little bit of delays in some shit because all of my drawings are with white line or black lines, which are going to end up blending in with this, but we'll switch over. So yeah, you know, I think risk-on assets are going to lag a little bit. You know, if we're going to compare this, like, let's look at that 2000 tech bubble burst, and, you know, let's look at, you know, polar opposites here. Dow Jones Industrial Average versus... So, you know, you can see here, look at the drop-off on risk-on assets and how it continued as the Dow continued to just chop sideways. You know, like, it's completely possible and plausible that that happens, right? And, you know, there are a lot of people that are like, well, you know, that is bearish as hell for crypto. I understand how you can draw to that conclusion with the type of correlation that we've had with the tech market recently and with Bitcoin being viewed by quite a few as a risk-on asset rather than a hedge. But, you know, if you do have the mindset that it is this potential inflationary hedge, right, and the store of value, and that it operates more so with, you know, the golds and silvers, the precious metals of the world, let's take a look at silver. So silver, man, looks strong as hell right now. Like, looking on this bounce back, I would not be surprised if we see a return back to the highs here, the range highs from March, January of 21. That if it basically just continues to work its way straight back up to those range highs, accumulates here a little bit and breaks out higher. Finally playing out the way that we were looking for over, you know, like that I was looking for at least. This entire period in May of 21, I did not, like, silver and gold completely baffled me, completely expected them to do the opposite of what they did. And I feel like it's finally warming up right now a little bit. And we might see a little bit of bullish price action with that. So, you know, if Bitcoin does act a little bit more like these precious metals, I think that there's an opportunity for it over the course of the next few years as it continues, not necessarily to make a new all-time high yet, but, you know, leading into the next happening, I think there might be a narrative that does spin up that helps lead in to the possibility for, you know, some type of price discovery, whether it be in Bitcoin or whether that strength ends up giving itself over to NFTs. So we'll see. All right, let's see. Where do we want to go from here? So, okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. All right, we can zoom out. You know, I paid attention to this fractal right here. You know, I think there's a decent chance, again, like I said, I've got a fairly high level of confidence that we continue at least back to these range highs from this breakdown. From here, worst case scenario, you know, there is some type of rejection. I'd say that at this point right here, solid spot to take some type of profit if you've been in a long from those, you know, from beneath 17K there prior to this breakout. I'd look for, let's see. But let's go ahead and zoom out and look at the broader market structure before we do anything else. Yeah, so, you know, zooming out, like, that move still looks tiny in the grand scheme of things, right? Realistically, let's look. Shoot, I need to go back to freaking dark mode. I need to just stay on this one. I will, for y'all's sake. I apologize. I keep swapping. All right. So let's see this, man. I mean, okay. So, you know, you can kind of see here how what ended up happening on this rejection and this move down that we saw with BTC on the FTX drama. Like, we're completely oversold compared to what equities and everything else in the market have done. You know, again, looking back at it, November 6th, when we took that tank for BTC, equities ripped, and they've only ripped since then. I truly do believe that we would be trading somewhere in the 25K range back toward the top of this range right here, right now, had we not encountered what we encountered with FTX, had that whole Black Swan event not happen. But, you know, it's held incredibly strong right here at, we're going to just get rid of that for now. So we've held incredibly strong right now, right above this trend break and retest. And I think there's a chance that we do see a move back up to 20K from here, right? You know, that it doesn't stop at 17K. Maybe we get a little bit of, or 18K. Maybe we get a bit of accumulation right here in that range before we do break higher. But ideally, what I'm expecting... Shoot, see, now I got to change my lines back to white. All right. Something like that. Look, what I think is the more important view for a higher time frame shift is breaking this log trend from the all-time high. So then, really, really ideally, would be some type of move like this where then, boom, we get a little bit of rejection, break above this, slowly work our way back toward that higher time frame logarithmic trend line right there, the bearish trend line, and then a solid breakthrough, and then boom, we get our squeeze back to that 28, 30K range. And, you know, that's when we might potentially get that run, you know, 2019 style, somewhere into this 40K type range, right? You know, from there, maybe a rejection back down here to the base lows, and then work our way, basically chopping kind of like what we did in 2019, leading into the next happening. That is my dream ideal scenario. But I mean, right now, the key thing for me is anywhere beneath 20K BTC, and I've said this every single week, you should be stacking, you should be accumulating. Like, it is something that, you know, again, you don't want to be putting your foot to the gas with, you know, degen leverage plays here, because you never know. Like, you know, hey, maybe we do hear some type of shitstorm from the contagion from FTX that ends up playing out, and we get one more dump back down maybe to, you know, 14K from here before we end up chopping and seeing that. But overall, I do think this is a highly plausible course for BTC, that after this contagion, after the fear and FUD kind of settles down, there are a lot of people right now that are on the sidelines that are looking for an entry. They're looking for their opportunity to scale back in. BTC's not going anywhere. So let's see. Let me look through some of the comments right now. So where are you trading futures right now? Brinks, I've been messing around with Bybit recently, honestly. There are a couple other exchanges that I've been tinkering with, but you know, Bybit's one of the exchanges that I really haven't heard too much FUD with right now. They have released their reserves. Everything seems to check out with it. So, you know, I'm being extremely cautious, but that is currently where I'm trading. But, you know, I'm tinkering around with a few other platforms right now, trying to make a decision of really, you know, what I want to go with. All right. Oh, shoot. That is not the chart that I want to check out. Go to BLX right now. See, this one, dude, it's annoying because I've got all my lines set up for light mode. All right, I'm not going to go full light here, but I'm going to go light enough to where you can actually see some stuff. There, gradient. Okay. I've got so, like, it's amazing that TradingView saves your drawings, but sometimes you're just scribbling while you're talking. It is annoying as hell. Yeah, I think this is the key chart to really look at, though, as far as the high time frame structure for BTC, right? You know, we are still, even where we are right now, really not deviating outside of that higher time frame parabolic support, or logarithmic support, I should say. We're not anything else. You know, if anything, to me, what it kind of looks like is what happened in March 2020 right there, right? Where we were oversold. There were a lot of people who were calling for the death of BTC back then, and ended up ripping back with vengeance, leading to a new all-time high. Now, do I expect this to be the run to follow from here? No, not necessarily. Again, what I'm more so expecting is this type of run that we saw in 2019 here, from, again, you can see that line right there, the logarithmic from the all-time high, retesting that major breakdown right there. Solid support, or I mean solid accumulation in that range where a lot of people were expecting just this massive dump. Never ended up happening. Whenever it retested that bearish trend, ended up just massive impulse move here. There was 20-30% in a couple of days. And realistically, what I'm expecting here, I was expecting that to happen earlier, right? If you were following my charts in October, I was looking for some type of move here earlier. 1 second. Which we didn't end up getting, unfortunately, but I do think that we would have seen had the FTX shit not happened. So I don't think that it's implausible / impossible for that to happen. You know, a bounce back here. Again, what was this sell-off? It was from FUD that didn't really affect anything fundamentally for BTC long-term. And again, same thing with FTX, right? BTC has experienced a lot worse shit than just, you know, some degen and a few of his friends that ended up over leveraging themselves and losing billions of dollars. It's experienced worse shit than that. It'll bounce back from this. So I do think that we still will retest that higher time frame bearish trend line, and that we'll get that same type of break here. You know, again, you know, like it broke up here to that 28, 30K was realistically the, you know, the area that I'm looking at for this right here being similar to this right here. So I think we'll get that accumulation here. And I don't think that it's implausible that sometime next year we could get a run back to the 40K plus range. Doesn't necessarily mean that we'll stay there. Again, I think that we will get that move back down after that. Probably a little bit of accumulation there. And slowly work our way back up. There's the next happening. Still no all-time high after the next happening. Still a bit boring, but eventually work our way up there through the bull market. You know, somewhere to that 100K range in 2025. So overall, that's still my long-term thesis for BTC with what I'm expecting. We'll see. So I think it's a different type of black swan due to contagions. I mean, completely fair, right? Like, but, you know, there's always contagion after any move in the market, right? Like, so I think on a lower time frame perspective, that does make a difference, right? You know, that it will affect some of the shorter term price action. But I think in the long term, whenever we move past all of this, the dust settles, it really doesn't make a difference. Okay, so Matic. Matic was one of the first requests. It's one that I've been tracking for a little while. And one that personally, man, I feel a lot of conviction toward. And also, you know, maybe a little bit of it deals with pride because the worst ratio of my life happened in that Matic tweet whenever Capo replied back. Dude, let me just find it. Go to Twitter feed real quick. Okay, so yeah, this is where I had the worst ratio of my life. Capo replied back, looks bearish to me. You know, the issue with that too is that, like, it's a completely invalid use of harmonics right there. Like, you know, I think you're supposed to go down to the 0.7 something. Like, the B should be way lower than it is. It's the point with this. So for it to be a bearish, bro, I'm not the harmonics expert. I looked up after this. I talked to my friends that were like, the B should have been way lower for this to have actually been a valid use here. But anyway, so, like, you know, there's a lot of pride right now that also goes into that because you're like, damn, when you get ratioed like that, you really want to end up winning the trade. And yeah, like, I do, you know, I'm not going to comment on whether it's fake engagement or not, one way or the other. It happened. So it feels good and a little bit vindicating seeing Matic end up kind of following through the course of this. But, you know, if you're looking at Matic right now, you know, I think it's good to look at some of the other alts that were strong prior to the FTX breakout that have ended up making solid moves after. You know, Link is a perfect example of that. Okay, so this is Link prior to the FTX thing, breaking out of a higher time frame, logarithmic resistance here, and it looked like it was going to continue to skyrocket. You know, Link USD was approaching $10. I think it was at $9.30 or so. And then when this happened, I mean, the entire market dumped off. Alts took a bigger hit for that, you know, higher beta play. But we've seen with those names that were stronger leading in to the FTX FUD, solid recovery. It's back up there near the highs of where it was prior. And I really think there's a strong chance that we see this continue to move back up here to, potentially another 50% move higher here relative to BTC. I don't think that that's insane at all. And we're seeing strength right now with a bunch of these Dino coins. And it's kind of weird to call Link a Dino coin, but it's starting to be grouped into that with it being one of the, OG movers during DeFi summer. Again, with Link right here returning to its highs, Doge is another example. One that hasn't necessarily returned to the highs, but it's gotten close. You can see here there were a lot of people expecting a breakdown lower here. Ended up reversing. Solid strength. Not quite back to the highs yet, but close. So, again, I keep forgetting to not. I apologize, guys. I keep going on the... So, again, I don't think that it's insane for Matic to follow the same course here, right? Back toward these highs from the pre-FTX breakdown. It's one of the things I'm expecting for Matic. Think that it is plausible and likely, in my opinion. It is one that I am extremely bullish on right now. And overall, looking at the higher time frame structure of Matic BTC, it looks incredibly similar to BNB BTC prior to BNB BTC breaking out for its new all-time high. So, relatively, again, I should just keep them on the same chart. I apologize about that. And let me change this just a line to make it easier to follow right now. Okay, so you can kind of see the similarities right here between the market structure, right? BNB BTC, massive flag, ended up breaking out here on the third touch, price discovery. I think Matic is basically right here where BNB was right here. And there is solid opportunity to see price discovery, maybe not quite to the same degree that BNB saw, where if you're looking at BNB right there, it saw, another X% gain. I need to look back at the charts. But, I think that there's a solid chance that we end up seeing that with Matic too, as it does break above this higher time frame resistance dating back to May of 21. There when it made its, first real all-time high peak before it capitulated back down, nearly a year and a half of accumulation to get back to where we are right now. I think that same structure is going to end up breaking back bullish. Plenty of fundamental cases going for it too. I mean, look at the traction with the NFT marketplace and what's happening there. So I think that it's... Oh, yeah, bias injected. I will get there. The alt BTC pair, importance of it, especially with the fact that I'm going through this. But yeah, still see there being a solid opportunity for that to happen. Now I'll talk about the importance of the alt BTC pairs. Okay, so back in the day, I'll start with kind of the history. Nobody used to trade alts in terms of USD price. I wish I could find a bunch of the, I'll look for some of the old tweets, but people would literally make fun of you if you tweeted out any alt in terms of their USD value, right? Everybody would say, dude, that is completely ludicrous. You must be a noob in this space if you're doing that. Alts only trade relative to their BTC value, and that's it. And a big part of that was, hey, if you traded on a bunch of these exchanges back in the day, the only way that you could purchase them was via BTC. There were few pairs with some of the alts that had like ETH pairs where you could buy them using ETH, but they were extremely illiquid. You could go to degen exchanges like Cryptopia And with Cryptopia, you had Doge pairs, which was, really valuable for the low SAC type of coins. But, it wasn't really until FTX came out and started introducing a bunch of these futures for alts in terms of USD rather than BTC that the industry started to shift. And there are a lot of people that are wondering how FTX gained so much popularity amongst traders. It was because of that, right? Like, as far as futures trading was concerned, prior to FTX, you were really basically limited to BitMEX as far as like a truly liquid derivatives exchange. And BitMEX basically, only had a few of them, a few alt pairs, right? Like, it had BTC USD and ETH USD that you could trade. But outside of that, you're looking at like ADA BTC, EOS BTC, LTC BTC. So a bunch of these coins in terms of their BTC ratios, but it didn't actually have their USD trading pairs available for futures. So then FTX came out and they started to introduce all these trading pairs in terms of USD. And not just that, but they didn't limit themselves to the Dino coins. They opened up the door to be able to start trading a bunch of the other hot names that were out right now. A bunch of the, the DeFi summer alts that were having massive moves that everybody wanted to trade with leverage, but they didn't have the opportunity to anywhere else. So FTX was kind of a first mover with that, and that's how they gained a lot of popularity amongst traders there at the beginning. That's how they hooked me. So, that was also around the time where you had a huge migration of people start joining the crypto space. And a lot of people at that point, because they were in degen mode, they were looking at the USD value instead of the BTC value. So a lot more of the volume started to shift to USD pairs rather than to BTC pairs. And with that, perception began to shift as well. But, in reality, the way that crypto works is BTC is the king, right? Like, BTC has been the king and it always will be the king. So the market reacts in terms of relative strength to the most prominent coin in that sector, and that is BTC. How BTC moves, the rest of the market moves. So if you're looking for opportunities in the crypto market, it's incredibly important to look for relative strength versus the king of that market, and that's BTC. So, that's why when you're trading pairs, in trading altcoins, it's important not just to look at their USD value, because again, if you look at Matic right now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this BNB chart right here. And dude, I apologize. Like, I've got to make it a little bit lighter up here too, because I don't feel like going through and redoing all my drawings to light. And I'm going to make this back into candles. Okay. Dude, this is so... God, man, this is frustrating. Okay, I'll just redo everything. Next time, I'll have this set up to where all the charts I have are actually prepped for dark mode and not light mode. You guys have corrected me with that, and I apologize for my sins. Okay, so look at the market structure right here for Matic BTC, and I'm about to shift over to Matic USD and just show you the difference. So here you see a clear trend break from a higher time frame, chart. Clear breakout here. Clear accumulation over that support. Looks like it's going to bounce back higher, retest those all-time highs. But if you're looking at the Matic USD chart, like, this is messy. This is messy as hell, right? Even if you look at the log chart, it's still messy, right? Like, looking at the Matic USD chart, I'm having a lot harder of a time to look for a clear structural move. So if you're looking, not just for, if you're looking for levels for where it's going, how it's going to react, I think it's a lot cleaner to look at the BTC chart. And, you know, again, the mantra of a lot of traders back in the day was basically you trade alts to stack more BTC. So a lot of traders back in the day basically said, I don't give a shit about the USD value of my alt because I believe so strongly that BTC is going to increase in value in the future that I don't give a shit about the USD value. I'm done with it. I don't care about it. Right? So that was a big part of the reason why traders made fun of you back in the day if you traded USD charts rather than just BTC charts. So anyway, again, hopefully that gives you a little bit of the history of kind of why it was significant, why it still is significant, why I think there's actually more alpha there now than what there used to be, because back in the day, I feel like the alpha was the USD chart because everybody was trading based on the USD chart, right? I mean, everybody was trading based on the BTC chart. So now I feel like the real alpha are in the BTC pairs rather than the USD chart because everybody's looking at the USD chart. Nobody's looking at the BTC pairs. So the BTC pairs are where your real alpha is as far as levels to look for, both in price discovery, breakouts, etc., etc. You know, I think there's a lot of hidden price action in there that you're not going to get from just looking at this. Okay. So let's see real quick. Dude, one thing I do want to touch on real quick. So I tweeted this out earlier. Dude, I'm doing a World Cup League with Sorare. So let's see, I've got a private league that I tweeted out. So if you guys are interested, it's completely free to join. Tweeted out the link here earlier. Where is it? You scroll through, I'm sorry I don't have it pinned in the comments, but yeah, check this out. It's completely free to join. Pretty fun for anybody interested in football / soccer, anything else. You guys can give me shit on my team. Let me know what you guys think. Like, this is my lineup for the Global Cup. As far as prizes, they are giving out ETH to the, certain levels. They're giving out signed jerseys, limited and rare cards, which actually do have real USD value. All the common cards are the ones that you're going to play with, which are free. But yeah, this is my lineup right now. Give me shit about it if you want. But you guys should jump in the league right now with me. I think right now, let's see, we've got about like 36 people in it right now, so nothing too crazy. Probably just for shits and giggles to make it a little bit more fun, gonna give out some wonky stonks to the winners. So take a look at it. And yeah, be awesome if some of y'all joined. One last thing that I want to give a shout out to real quick. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead. I really do think, I have talked about Pudgies for a long time. They have slowly been creeping up right now as far as their floor value. So as far as the NFT degen plays, bro, if you look at this right here and you're looking at that on any other chart on TradingView, and you're looking at the momentum trending higher back to the average sales price, like, I see no way that we don't see a volume surge right here, a breakout, an average sales price back above 4 ETH sometime in the near future. So Pudgy Penguins and also Little Pudgies are my current alpha as far as NFT plays. Definitely worth checking out if you have not before. So yeah, but with that, let's see. Bro, Cole's Ping ended up selling for 30K, bro. I did not see that. It's badass. I love to see that. And shout out to anybody that is in Miami for Art Basel right now, and somehow you're enough of a degen to be on here right now with me also. But, dude, something to look at. They've had quite a few sweeps these past several days. I think I saw 60 ETH sweep, 20 ETH, 30, 40 ETH sweep that have been coming in. volume is slowly picking up here. And again, where I really expect the surge, it's kind of like right here. You know, these charts do act like traditional charts. You know, when it breaks out of this downtrend, you do see a massive influx of volume. Same with here. Accumulation there, solid structure, boom, breakout. Tons of volume on that breakout. That previous high right here has maintained relevance throughout this entire... Actually, what am I doing? I can check this chart. So yeah, like this is super clean chart. I don't see any way that it does not break through this 3.54 ETH. This is in terms of WETH, so you know this is people accepting WETH offers on Sushi Swap. But anyway, I don't see any way that it doesn't end up breaking higher from here. So we'll see. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so bias injected, last thing that I'll answer for you before I got to go. I apologize, I do have to go. This isn't as long of a stream as I wanted, but I really do appreciate you guys hopping on. It's been fun doing a late night DGen conversation. So yeah, if you want to long an alt, are you long the alt BTC pair, or do you just chart the alt BTC pair but long in the USD chart? No, I mean, I'm looking at both, man. I'm looking at both, and whether I buy the alt using BTC or whether I buy the alt using USD doesn't really make a difference. Overall, my game plan in trading typically is to stack more BTC, but, you know, if I'm trading a futures position, overall I am looking at the USD value. You know, so like I am looking at what Bitcoin is doing first and foremost. So, you know, if I am bullish on Bitcoin, I'm then looking at alts, and I'm looking at, hey, what has the opportunity to outperform Bitcoin? You know, so if Bitcoin right now is strong and I expect it to move up to 18K, well, okay, what alts are out there that I think that can outperform it? And that's where I look at the BTC chart of that alt, you know, for that alt versus BTC rather than USD. You know, I'm looking for the outpace, right? So if the market is bullish in general, I'm looking for something to outpace. You know, you're looking for the higher beta play, and yeah. Well, I hope you guys... Actually, dude, just for shits and giggles, let's just see this one time live on stream. We're going to start a typing test. This may be terrible. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's BS. All right, we're doing it again. I cannot type to save my life right now. I feel the pressure. Dude, that was awful. That was so terrible. Okay, I have no idea why I did that. I apologize. It was fun though. So I appreciate you guys hopping on. I enjoyed it. Sorry again for boring you guys with the typing test at the end, but you know, I'll try to kick one of these up tomorrow too, but I also plan on doing a space tomorrow as well. So make sure to check it out. Again, appreciate you guys hopping on here. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll do a stream tomorrow with some type of, you know, I want to put a video together with some type of commentary on the SBF stuff. That's a conversation in and of itself.